Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming this evening. I'm Jen Pilling, and I'm part of the Beyond Ideas Committee. So we've decided to put this event together to help all of you become successful entrepreneurs. And to that end, I am pleased to welcome this evening Dave Magrogan. He is the CEO of Kildare's, Doc Magrogan's, the Oyster House, and Two Men and a Truck, and Rhino Living. So he has a lot of experience starting new businesses. He has built a $20 million empire in just 6 short years and is opening 6 more restaurants in the next 6 months. Dave attributes his success to his Rhino Living philosophy, and that's what he'll be sharing with you today. So without further ado, I welcome Dave Magrogan. Thanks.
How is everybody tonight? Good. All right, I'm probably going to stay down here. Can you hear me loud enough? Okay. I have a mic on, but we probably won't need it. I want to thank you guys very much for having me here tonight. It's awesome to be here in Villanova because I do live in Glen Mills. I am from Delaware County originally, so it's awesome to be back here. I do not have an MBA, however, so take all my advice with a grain of salt, okay? But I am here to share with you guys sort of how I got from being a poor kid growing up in Delaware County to being an entrepreneur who I haven't worked for anybody else since I was about 19 years old, so I've always worked for myself. Which is what entrepreneurs always do. We always find a way to work for ourselves because we can't work for a boss, right? So I want to share with you guys today sort of my philosophy and how I got there. Give you a real short history. I grew up in most of my life in Brookhaven, Delaware County. We moved around all the little parts of Delaware County. My mom and dad were divorced. My mom raised me with my 2 sisters. So we sort of moved to every apartment complex that single moms moved to. It was like one single mom found out this place was cheap, then all the single moms moved there. So we sort of moved every year. I grew up in Brookhaven. I graduated from Sun Valley High School. Went from Sun Valley to Westchester University. I went pre-med at Westchester University. I went from there to Life College in Atlanta, chiropractic school. I graduated with a degree in chiropractic in '96. I then opened 2 chiropractic offices. Well, my first one in Brookhaven, I became the largest chiropractic practice in about 1.5 years in the state of Pennsylvania. We were seeing about 800 patients a week. And that was all based on philosophy. We saw 800 patients a week. And basically, I never turned down anybody for care. Your average chiropractor sees about 75 to 100 patients a week. They average about $70 a visit when it's all said and done. I averaged $12 a visit, but saw 800 patients a week and had a lot more fun. And it enabled me to do great and fun things. I then opened another office. We had our goals that we wanted to achieve in that office with another chiropractor. And then I started to look at opening more chiropractic offices. But along the way, I realized chiropractors were very independent people. If they had any brains and they were any good, they could realize they could open up a block down the street and take all your patients. Because people like chiropractors, they get loyal to them. Oh, I do see Dr. So-and-so, I see Dr. So-and-so. So I realized that building an empire probably wasn't happening in chiropractic. I wasn't going to be able to go and ring the bell on Wall Street one day and say, here's my 40 chiropractic offices across the state. It just wasn't that way. So I started looking at other businesses. I started losing my passion in chiropractic. And I started looking at other businesses. So I looked at franchises. I looked at everything. And really what I did is I followed my passion. And I said, what am I really excited about? I grew up working in restaurants. I started working in restaurants at age 12. I worked all through college in restaurants. I worked in restaurants from 12 to 24. And I loved them. So I said, you know what, I'm going to open an authentic Irish pub. I've been to Ireland a bunch of times. I love authentic pubs. There were some in the city. There was a Fido in the city. There were some Irish pubs across New York, Boston that were authentic. But basically in the burbs, we didn't have any real pubs. I said, I'm going to take that model and bring it out to the suburbs. And we opened Kildare's Westchester. So anybody here ever been to Kildare's Westchester? All right. Opened in 2003. We did $90,000 a week in 4,500 square feet. So your average restaurant that's 4,500 square feet does about $30,000 a week. So Kildare's Westchester opened up and just exploded. So again, I just went with it. And then we opened Kildare's King of Prussia, Kildare's Manioc, and then Kildare's all over the place. So I quickly went from being a chiropractor to a restaurateur overnight. Use the same principles. I also own this territory for Two Men and a Truck. If you've ever used Two Men and a Truck to move, we own the King of Prussia one and we own the Delaware County one. And I own that with a partner. And so basically any business we've gotten into, we followed sort of what's passionate about what we do, what do we like about what we do. So what I want to share with you first today is sort of the attitude for success. So Jim was nice enough to tell me about the people I'm speaking to. Most of this room are entrepreneurs. All you guys want to own your own business, you all have big dreams, you're all going to change the world one day. Is that who I'm speaking to? It's good, all right, you're supposed to want to do that, so that's great, okay? So here's what's really important. Success starts with one thing, and that's your attitude. Success in any business, in any venture, in anything you do, school, church, home, whatever it is, it all starts with your attitude, the way you look at life, okay? Successful people look at life a certain way, which is why they're always successful. It's also why a successful person can be bankrupt and then 2 years later be rich again, okay? Because they look at things through a different lens, they look at things through a different attitude. As an entrepreneur, you need a different attitude. Why? Because the whole world's looking for the safety and security of the job, the 401k, and the benefits, and you're willing to risk it all in the name of adventure and creating your own company and creating your own vision, and it's boring for you to take the easy way, right? Okay? So you guys have a different attitude. So what you want to realize is most of the world is going toward the attitude toward the safety and security, and the entrepreneur attitude is much more, what can I do, what am I passionate about, what can I make happen? So life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. It's really important to understand this principle because all throughout your careers, you're going to have stuff happen to you that could be perceived as bad. Everything that has ever happened that is bad always leads to something that is much better. Okay? Throughout the talk today, I'll try to give you guys some practical real-life experience that I've had, all right, and I hope it relates to something you're going through. So give you a great example. Kildare's King of Prussia. I built that when restaurants were at their prime value. Okay, restaurants were trading at 11 or 12 times EBITDA. They were very valuable. All these national chains were growing like crazy. Outback was coming out with like a new concept every 2 weeks, it seemed like. Everybody was fighting for real estate. It was like, oh my God, we're going to run out of land. You know, real estate rent went from $10 a square foot to 20 to 30 to 40. It just got really crazy. So when I built Kildare's King of Prussia in the prime of restaurant expansion mode, okay, as the entire country was like, oh, restaurants can grow at 20% a year, and everybody was just going crazy about them. It cost me $4 million to build Kildare's King of Prussia. 11,000 square feet. It's the Titanic that almost sunk Kildare. Okay, huge. All right. We did it in an economic time, and economics were great. I got a loan for this, I got this, that, and the other. Banks were handing out money for restaurants. They loved the concept. It was so easy to get funding. Now look at the economy, okay? Restaurants are closing every day, all right? So now, just the other day, I bought an entire authentic Irish pub. It was a pub imported from Ireland, okay? It's about 3 hours from here. It was a pub imported from Ireland. They went belly up. Now, the imported pub from Ireland cost anywhere from $500,000 to $700,000, okay? I bought the entire pub, including the kitchen, including the bar equipment, including the liquor license, for $125,000. These people spent $2 million to build this pub, and I bought the entire pub for $125,000. So what can be perceived as a bad economy, I look at it as I can open up 10 restaurants for $2 million. 4 or 5 years ago, I could only open one restaurant for $4 million because of supply and demand, because of competition. So see how this negative economy has made restaurateurs jump out? It's made us jump in. And I'm not crazy about this because I happened to be in the airport the other day and I happened to pick up a copy of Entrepreneur magazine. Did anybody see it? You should all subscribe to that, by the way. The cover of it says, now is the time to open a restaurant. Okay? Why? Because I can get chefs cheap. I can get real estate cheap. I can get bank financing, okay, but I can get private money. Why can you get private money? Because the banks aren't doing anything with the money. So people are sitting with money on the sideline and are willing to get involved in the business. So it really is about our attitude. We could have said, okay, you know what? 2008 and 9 are going to be such insane years, we're pulling out. We're going to go safe, we're going to hide in our hole, we're going to close a couple units, not open anything else, and we're just going to hide. And instead, we went for it. All right? And now we have 6 restaurants on the thing. We bought a closed-down Buffalo Wild Wings in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We bought a closed-down pub in Scranton. We bought... what are we doing now? An empty Gap store in Glen Eagle Shopping Center. Okay, and every one of these opportunities came about because we were willing to go for it when the national chains wouldn't. So, most important thing is you guys get to choose your attitude. And if you take an attitude that every time something bad happens, you look for the positives, that's when real fortunes are made. Okay? Real fortunes are not made when you buy at the height of everything. Okay? My return on investment on Kildare's King of Prussia is probably 18 years. All right, not a good investment of $4 million, okay? My return on investment on this new property in Scranton will probably be 6 months. All right, a much better deal. So, next one, Molly. Here's an attitude quote. It's my absolute favorite. You guys have it in your book, okay? My absolute favorite quote by Charles Swindoll. Has anybody ever seen this quote? It's essential if you're going to be an entrepreneur, because guess what? You're going to have bad days. It happens. You're going to have days when you don't want to get out of bed. You're going to have days when you feel like a failure. You're going to have days when you're like, oh my God, the world is closing in on me. And then you're going to read this quote. And this quote says, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think, say, or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day for the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change the past, okay? You guys have bad stuff happen in the past, let it go. Move on, learn from it, okay? We cannot change the fact that people act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. Totally the way life works. When you're out there building a business, when you have a dream, when you want to achieve something, it's about how you react to the situations you're presented to. It's not the situations themselves. In every negative situation, there's something positive that you can find and something positive you can create. Next one, Molly. All right, so let's talk about being a rhino or a cow. What happened to me a couple years ago, I had gotten out of speaking. I used to speak when I was a chiropractor. And then when I got in the restaurant business, I just got so busy in the restaurant business that I really didn't speak that often. And Philadelphia Magazine did an article about us, and to let you know, the guy writing the article wasn't happy about it. He's like, oh, I pulled the short straw. You know, the editor said that Pat Croce and John DeBella said you're a really good guy and they should do a story about you, and now I'm out in the burbs and I'm the new reporter, so this is going to be a one-page article, and I'm really pissed off that I have to follow you around, okay? That then turned into a 3 or 4 week follow and a 5 or 6 page article. Why? Because when the guy started interviewing me, he's like, you're a bit of a nut. He's like, how come you're so crazy about all this stuff? And I gave him this little book called Rhino Living. He read the book and he goes, well, we're going to make this a bigger story. And then he started following me around. The poor guy, we were opening a pub up in Montage, and we had St. Patrick's Day. So the guy's liver, after following me around for 2 weeks, you can imagine how he felt. But what happened from that was everybody found out about my little secret rhino philosophy that I use to grow all my companies. We use it in my chiropractic business, we use it in my moving business, we use it, this is our core culture in our company. People in our company are called rhinos or cows. They're either hard-charged, energetic rhinos, or they're cows and we're getting ready to put them out to pasture. Okay? Here's what you want to realize. You get to choose your attitude every day. You can choose to be an energetic, positive rhino. What's a rhino do? A rhino spends most of its day grazing, looking for opportunities, and when it sees an opportunity, what does it do? Charges full steam ahead, non-stop, nothing's going to stop it. No natural predators. It knows that what it wants, it can get. Wouldn't that be a great way to go through life? That if you knew what you want, you can get? Okay? That's the vision you want to have. Now how about a cow? What does a cow do all day? A cow follows the herd, okay? Follows the path of least resistance, okay? Follows where everybody is going, which is normally the wrong place to go, okay? And the cow basically sits in a field all day. The rhino has every day as an opportunity. The rhino says, I'm going to find something today, I'm going to charge at it. And this is awesome. The cow basically has 2 options, get slaughtered or get milked. Okay? And that's it. Alright? So we try to get people to understand what it would be like to go through life as a rhino. Imagine tomorrow if you woke up and you saw yourself as 6,000 pounds, 3-inch thick skin, a giant horn coming out of your head. Would you be scared of anything? Would you have any fear whatsoever? Mentally, if that's who you are, guess what? You achieve amazing things. Why? Because you start charging at the things that you like. And along the way, do you get knocked down? Yes. Do you get bruised? Absolutely. But guess what? You're 6,000 pounds. You got 3 thick skin. So guess what happens? You just get back up. And you realize it's part of the game. When a cow gets knocked down, what does a cow do? It lays there. That's why it's called cow tipping. Right? Okay? It gives up. It says, that's it. Okay, this is just the way life is. This stinks. Okay? So, here's the way it works. When you're a rhino, you wake up in the morning, you charge, you go for it, you make big things happen. You can't wait to get out of bed. If you want to know the best thing about finding success, when you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning to make something great happen, then you know you're on the right path. When you're pulling the covers over your head and you're hitting snooze, you're on the wrong path. Okay? You should wake up in the morning, you can't wait to get going. Alright? The cows like to hit snooze, the cows like to sleep in, the cows like to use as many sick days as they possibly can. Okay? Now, the next thing, rhinos surround themselves with great rhino buddies. Alright? Here's what we say in our thing. I mean, we hang out with all of our rhino friends. Everybody in my company are rhinos and this, that, and the other. Next time you go to Kildare, ask the server or host if they're a rhino, okay? Or the manager, alright? But the thing is, you become the average of the 10 people you spend the most time with. Has anybody ever heard that before? One of the most important things that you can understand, you absolutely will become the average of the 10 people you spend the most time with. Let's say that you decide to hang around 10 people that steal cars. Okay? For a living, they steal cars. What are you eventually going to do? You're going to steal a car. It's just going to happen. because they're your friends, because he's a really good guy, it's okay he steals cars, or there's a reason for it. And at some point, you're going to end up in jail. Maybe you're just driving in a stolen car, but at some point, your life's going to take a negative turn. What happens if you hung out with 10 millionaires? If all your friends were millionaires, what would possibly happen to you? You'd probably become a millionaire, wouldn't you? Okay? Purely by circumstance, purely by the opportunities presented to you. You became a car thief because of the opportunities presented to you. You become a millionaire because of the opportunities presented to you. Okay? So it's really, really important to realize that you become the average of the 10 people you spend the most time with. Okay? Good and bad. What's important about that? You should absolutely analyze who you're spending all your time with. Okay? And if you're spending your time with negative people, that's bringing negativity in your life, and it's not positive at all, and it's bringing you down, and it's slowing you from your progress. So, you can hang out with complaining cows. What complaining cows look for is justification. This is happening to me, it's not my fault. Yeah, that's not your fault. Your teacher's a jerk. Yeah, that's not your fault, it's your parents' fault. Yeah, that's not your fault, it's the banker's fault. That's not your fault, it's the lawyer's fault. Guess what? Your success is all your fault. Your failures are all your fault. You own everything in the long run. Okay? So having people justify it, patting on the back, saying, man, it's not you, it's just the system. It's the system bringing you down. Okay? That's total BS. All right? You achieve your success. It's totally up to you. So, the other thing about being a rhino, they have no distractions. When a rhino has a goal, that's it, man. He's off. Okay? If you have a goal that you're passionate about, nothing will stop you along the way to that goal. Nothing. Okay? If you have a goal you're not really passionate about, any obstacle can slow you down. Okay? Oh, you know what? I want to do it, but this happened. That's a really good idea, but we can't get bank financing. Right? You know how many restaurateurs I know right now that are trying to do deals that can't because they can't get bank financing? But they're scared to death to go up to somebody who's worth $5 or $10 million and say, hey, how about you invest in my restaurant? If you can't get bank financing and you still want to do your dream, you got to figure out a way to make it happen. Right? So, the rhinos are always alert for opportunities, and you guys want to be that way. A down economy is the best time for an opportunity. It's absolutely the best time for an opportunity. Right? Rhinos are also happy and healthy. Okay? Why are we happy and healthy? Because we're too busy to be sick. We have so much great things, so many great things going on in our life, so much energy, so much passion. We want to make so many things happen. We don't have time for H1N1. It's just not in our, it's not going to happen to us because we're too busy. Did you ever notice you don't get sick until you have time to get sick most of the time? So you take 3 days off, or you take a vacation, or you go away sometimes, and all of a sudden you get sick because you stop. Okay? So rhinos are always happy and healthy. Big principle here. Rhinos go the extra mile. Who in this room wants to make more money? We all do, right? And believe me, when you make $50 million, you want to make 100. When you make $5 million, you want to make 10. Okay? It's just human nature. All right? So the issue is we all want to make more money. Okay? Or we all want to achieve more success. How do you do that? You go the extra mile. What you have to do is you always have to do more than you're paid for. And then you always get paid more. Does that make sense? Okay? The old way of thinking is sort of like, okay, I got my job. Here's the 5 things you want me to do. If you want me to get a promotion and you want me to do the next thing, well, you're going to have to pay me more to learn these next 3 or 4 skills. It's a whole new world. You need to learn those new skills, hopefully get the opportunity, because you've shown you've gone the extra mile. Okay, you've made good things happen. And that's where added benefits come from. That's where more money comes from. That's where more opportunity comes from. So what you want to realize is you always want to do more than you're currently being paid for, and then you always get paid more. Okay? The way I try to explain this in my company is we always want to give greater and better service than our guests expect, because then our guests will continue to come back and visit us and refer their friends. We do an online form where you get your receipt at Kildare's or Doc's or any of my restaurants, and you can actually get an online survey. And one of the best things we get in our online survey is, I'm definitely telling my friends about Kildare. It's the #1 way to grow. I'm definitely telling my friends, and the server was so nice and helpful. And sometimes we hear things like, and the server went out of their way to do X, Y, and Z. And then we know that our staff's going the extra mile. Okay? So going the extra mile is really an important principle of success because it really does open up future doors. Okay? It's the way all promotions happen in our company. Cows, on the other hand, cows want to put the least amount of effort possible. Cows want to say, okay, I'll do this much. If you want more from me, you better pay me more. Or how does that affect my benefits? Or does that give me another vacation day? Okay? They start thinking about themselves instead of the company or the group or the vision of what's going on. Okay? The other thing about being a rhino, really important, accept responsibility. Okay? Who here in this room is going to own their own business? Either does now or wants to. Okay? The biggest way to be successful in your own business is accept all responsibility. Okay? 2008, Kildare's, as a group, our entire company, we took a hit for probably $1.5 million in various areas. Okay? I accept the responsibility for it. I should have fired my COO a year earlier. Okay? We should have not made a couple decisions that we made. We should have not financed certain things. And what did we do in 2008? We spent 2008 cleaning up. We spent 2008 getting rid of bad things, bringing in good things. Okay? From people to locations and things. But I didn't blame somebody else for it. I said, okay, I hired that person. I okayed that location. The more you accept responsibility, the less time you spend in a blame game. Oh, that's your fault. Oh, it's them. Oh, it's this. And you just get into problem solving. So when you accept responsibility, immediately you're saying, okay, here's the problem in front of me. I've got to solve it. When you get to that mode, you solve problems quicker, which means you move more effectively and you can move forward. Okay? And you know what? You're going to fail. We're going to talk about it. As an entrepreneur, you're going to fail. You should fail. Failure is awesome and failure is good. And I've learned to make so much more money out of failures than out of positive things. Listen, man, it's easy to have a 4,500 square foot pub that makes $80,000 a week and think you're a superstar. It's a lot different when you have an 11,000 square foot pub that does 40 that's supposed to be doing 100. When you fix that one, then you're really getting good. Okay? And that's how you learn. So the thing about being a cow is they always blame others. Okay? Their failures are always somebody else's fault. You don't want to get ever stuck in that trap. If something has happened and you've experienced a failure, own it. Learn what you can from it and move on. Can you go forward, Molly? One or two? Okay. Keep going. I want to get into Laws of the Jungle real quick. Has anybody ever read the book The Secret? Or seen the DVD The Secret? Okay, got a couple people that have. Okay. The Secret's a little hokey, but what they talk about is one of the laws of success, which is the law of attraction. They don't really talk about it, I think, in correct terms. They talk about it more in metaphysical terms. But if you look at it purely from a quantum physics level, there are certain laws of success to why people become successful or why people don't become successful. I want to share with you guys just 4 laws. Okay? Anybody ever read any Brian Tracy books? I do recommend Brian Tracy. If you go on one of his websites, check it out, Brian Tracy. He's got a book, 100 Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. It's a great book. And it just talks about the laws of money, laws of power, laws of influence. There's just certain rules that work out pretty well. So I want to tell you guys 4 rules that I try to make my executive team live by, because these things make life a heck of a lot easier. Okay? So the first one is the law of compensation or cause and effect. When we talk about success, again, your success is your own damn fault. That's the way you want to look at it. Okay? All the things that make you a success, you go to the next one? Compensation. All the things that make you a success, it's all about the opportunities that you've taken and that you've created. It's about what you've chosen to do. So here's how you want to think about it. Right now, whatever you're experiencing in your life, good or bad, is the sum total of your past. Right now, it's not really the present. Right now is all the good and bad you did a year ago, 6 months ago, a week ago. Okay? If you failed a test today, you failed a test because you didn't study for the past week, or you didn't go to class for the past 2 months. Okay? So where you are today isn't really a representation of where you can be. It's just a representation of the past, of your past causes and effects. All right? So in most simplest terms, if I was to plant corn seed and go back 3 months later looking to harvest pumpkins, you'd think I was crazy. Right? But what happens with people is they constantly do the wrong thing again and again and again, and they go back looking for a different result. Okay? So what you want to realize is you want to set up positive effects to get those, or positive causes to get the positive effects. So success and failure happens based on the causes you establish. So you're basically compensated in proportion to the energy you give out, negative or positive. This again goes back to that go the extra mile principle. Okay? I guarantee if everybody in this room for 30 days just tried to go the extra mile with everything they did, to go one step further in every single thing they did, after 30 days you'd have a better life. Because you're just doing more positive things. Okay? For the next 30 days, if I pick somebody in this room to be a volunteer and walk around and be nothing but a grumpy bastard, what would happen to them at the end of 30 days? They'd have less friends, they'd have less opportunities, okay? They might have worse grades, okay, if you're still in school, right? Why? Because now the professor hates them. Well, you know what, you missed the test, tough luck. Or if they were a nice guy, they might work with them, right? All right? So in the long run, what you want to think about, there are no accidents. Success is not just like straight up, but what you look at, success is a bunch of zigzags, and in the long run, you get to success through a bunch of successes and failures, and then you get to your ultimate goal. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? So what you want to think about is everything you do, say, what is the effect of this? If I do this, what will happen? Okay? So last year when I brought on a much deeper, talented management team, okay? Bigger, better management team, the immediate effect was an increase in sales. Immediately when we did that. I can take a restaurant that's doing $2 million a year, I can hire a guy, pay him twice as much. You know, you're scared. You're like, I got a restaurant doing $2 million a year. How am I going to pay this new guy more? But I can take a guy out of a $4 million operation, put him in a $2 million operation. What happens? It starts to climb to 4. Okay? Because we're doing the positive causes. All right? Next one, Molly. The law of attraction. This is really, really important. This is what The Secret talks about, but I'm going to make it as simple to you as possible. Have you ever met somebody, you're shaking hands with them, you're talking with them, and you know they just don't like you? We all have, right? Okay, hopefully you're not sitting next to them right now, all right? But we've all met somebody that we say, man, I get bad vibes, right? I just get bad vibes from that guy. Guess what? You are legitimately getting bad vibes. That person doesn't like you. Their subconscious mind, the entire time they're talking to you, is saying, I don't like this girl, I don't like what she's wearing, I don't like her hair, I don't like this, I don't like the way she chews her gum, I don't blah, blah, blah. That's all going on in her head, and guess what? You're picking up on it. Here's the way you want to think about it. You have two options. You can walk around being positive, optimistic, enthusiastic, or you can walk around being miserable and grumpy. If you walk around being positive, enthusiastic, and optimistic, what are you going to attract? Who wants to hang out with you? Similar people, right? A miserable, grumpy person, you're pissing them off. They're annoyed by you. They don't want to be around you. Okay? So the thing is, you broadcast a vibrational frequency. We all do. Okay? Do you think, like, I walk into my restaurants and I'm grumpy? Can you picture me walking into a room being like, hi guys, how are you? Head down. It's just not who I am. So therefore, in my personal life and my professional life, I tend to resonate with those kind of people. Okay? Everybody in this room knows Pat Croce, I imagine, right? Okay, he lives a couple miles from here. Pat is a very positive, optimistic person, okay, written several success books. I helped him open a restaurant in Key West. He ran the Sixers. Pat's done amazing things with his life. He's always done anything he's ever wanted to do. He's absolutely always done anything he's ever wanted to do. Pat and I bumped into each other and immediately became fast friends. Now, we had supposed to have been connected by some friends prior to this, but we didn't. We just bumped into each other and immediately became great friends. Okay? We have lunch a couple times a year. We do all kinds of stuff together, and we just became friends because we put out the same energy. And that's all it is. Okay? Now, let's say you put out negative energy. What are you going to attract in your life? Negative people. You're going to go back to those complaining cows in the field, and you put out negative energy, and you're going to attract more people with negative energy, and then you got a bunch of people in your company with negative visions, negative energy, and excuses galore, but no results. If you have a bunch of positive, energetic, optimistic people, you get things done. When bad stuff happens, there's always somebody there to pick it up and run with it. Okay? And that's the law of attraction. So you want to picture yourself always having a radio antenna sticking out the top of your head, and you get to choose to walk into the room on positive 106, or you get to walk in the room on Loserville 88. Okay? It's 100% your choice. But realize you're doing it every minute, every day. You're on stage every minute, every day. Okay? I can tell you, I know tons of entrepreneurs. I know tons of CEOs. And the past year and a half in the economy has been a disaster. And the great CEOs, you know what they do? They walk into a room, everything's great, company's doing awesome, things are coming around. And these are people I know that are about to lose their home, they're about to lose this, they're about to lose that. But they go because they don't want to walk in a room and go, guess what? This is so horrible. Who wants to be around them? Nobody. Okay? The next one, Molly? Persistence. One of the biggest principles in success if you're going to be an entrepreneur. Okay? There's a new book out called 3 Feet from the Gold. Okay? And it's about persistence. A great book on this too. Has anybody here ever read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich? It's like the ultimate entrepreneurial manual. It really is. Nobody's read that book in this room? We've got to buy them on the book. Everybody's got to buy this book. Buy it on your way home, please. I have a new partner. She's working for me in my new restaurant concept, Harvest. And she's never read it before, so I gave her a copy. And she now calls me every day. She's like, I'm acting as if I'm doing this. She's using all these book principles. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, this book, Think and Grow Rich, what happened was Napoleon Hill was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie at the time because he was doing articles about wealthy people and submitting them to magazines to pay his way through law school. So he gets to talk to Carnegie about his steel mills and all this. And Carnegie says, you know what? I like you. And I want to get this philosophy of success distilled down to a science. Because right now, everybody thinks success is just an accident. People think success is just, you grew up in the right neighborhood, you had the right connections, you went to the right college, because it's all totally crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you introductions to 500 of the most wealthy people of our time, and most intelligent people of our time, and I want you to figure out what makes successful people successful. So Napoleon Hill wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. He also was in the White House when they broke the Depression. He was an advisor during that entire time, working for $1 a year. And that's when he wrote Think and Grow Rich, which then sold millions of copies, which is why he always said he went the extra mile for the country, and all of a sudden he made this book that made him millions and millions of dollars. Okay? But in this book, he talks about 17 principles of success. 17 principles that all successful people have in common at varying degrees, okay? But that they all have. Number one was, guess what? A positive mental attitude. We talked about attitude, right? Napoleon Hill found that no matter what made a successful person successful was a positive attitude. Number two, he found a definite chief aim. And in the top, he found persistence. Why? Because persistence in the face of adversity really shows the difference between a winner and a loser. That you may be 3 feet from the goal, and you say, it's too hard, we're turning away. Okay? So, I could be here right now speaking to you as the former CEO of Kildare because we got approached about a buyout last year. And we had our company meetings, and I control all my company stock. So, anybody who gets a stock, it's with limitations. Hey man, here's some stock. Guess what? You can never sign on it, I get to sign on it. Okay? So if tomorrow, Darden came to me and offered me $50 million, I don't even have to call anybody. I just call them the next day and say, hey guys, pick up your check. I just sold the company. Okay? Well, I was in negotiations with a chain Fidel, an Irish pub chain. And they wanted to buy Kildare's. And we talked about it, and ultimately I got to make that decision. But we all decided it wasn't the right time yet. The restaurants were trading at a high enough value. Things weren't where they needed to be. Let's wait. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to build. Okay? Since then, we've had 4 tremendous opportunities. We're up in Notre Dame. We're up in Chapel Hill. We just bought another pub. I just got a call on a pub the other day. By the time Fidel ever comes back to our table, we're going to be bigger than them. And then we're going to say, well, how about we buy you guys? Okay? But that was persistence. We faced a tough year. It would have been nice. I got to tell you, it would have been nice to put a bunch of cash in my pocket, have money to grow the other brands. We had other brands to grow. We could have put the money around there. And instead, we said, no, we're not growing this thing until it can get us X. So, law of persistence. Abraham Lincoln. Anybody ever see this information before? Absolutely great. Okay? Abraham Lincoln, he failed in business in 31. He was defeated for state legislator in 1832. He tried another business in 33. It failed. His fiancée died in 35. He had a nervous breakdown in 36. How many people would have quit then? How many people would have taken the night shift at a gas station and hidden for the rest of their life? Okay? He got back up. He decided he had gained so much knowledge he'd be great to help run the country. So he goes and runs for Congress, okay, in 43, and he lost. He ran again in 48, he lost. He ran again for Senate in 55, he lost. Somehow he thought he was the best guy for the vice president job after all the experience he's had, okay, and he lost that, okay. In 1860, he was elected the 16th president of the United States. And obviously, he was one of the most important presidents we ever had, okay. Now, what you don't see here, Abraham Lincoln could have looked at his life that way. He could have looked at his life as a series of failures. Well, guess what? When he failed in business in 31, he actually became CEO of another company and ran a profitable company. Okay? When he failed for Congress, he wanted up another state legislature seat. And at one point, he was the most powerful politician in all of Illinois. Okay? Maybe not on a national level, but he ran the state. So for every failure you see here, there were 2 or 3 successes that made Abraham Lincoln continue to charge. And you guys need to realize that. I could list out for you guys all of my failures. Okay? And then all of my successes. Okay? But the issue is, you just keep going. And these failures teach you stuff along the way. And that's just the way it goes. You think we haven't spent money on an advertising campaign that hasn't worked? Of course we have. Okay? Think we haven't bought locations that have failed? Of course we have. It's part of the game. Okay? He realized it. He said, my vision is one day to be president of the United States. I'm going to get there one way or the other. I'm going to make it happen. And every failure just made him go more and more and more. And instead of getting up in the morning, every morning, and looking at his list of failures, he looked at his list of success. And it inspired him to go on. Okay? Most important thing you need to realize about this is, as entrepreneurs, you're going to fail. Failure is absolutely essential because it teaches you to adapt. And if you fail with the right attitude, then it's great. Because if you fail saying, okay, what do I learn from this? What do we do? Okay? I have 3 or 4 strategic plan meetings a year with my guys. And last January, not this year, but the year before, our big goal was to acquire other companies. Because we saw this economy going nowhere. And at that same time, all the nationals said, we're not going to expand. All the national restaurant companies said, we're not opening new units, we're not going to expand. And what we said instead was, let's buy anybody who's going out of business that has a good location and a good model, we can go in there and fit it. Okay? Again, it's looking at these failures and looking at the opportunities. There's always opportunities. Next one, Molly. Abundance. All right. Again, who in this room wants to be rich one day? Raise your hand. It's okay to be rich. It's okay to be really rich. Okay? All right? You got to pay off those student loans too, right? All right. All right. People still think I was crazy. I took $110,000 in student loans to be a chiropractor, and 6 years later I was retired. I have a retired license. But now when I visit all my chiropractic friends, they're like, "What's life on the outside like?" Because they're trapped in chiropractic, you know. So, law of abundance. This is very, very important. What you have to realize is, so much about the money in your life, either the presence of it or the lack thereof, is your opinions, is your thought process, is what you feel you deserve. Okay? When you feel you don't deserve money, you're not going to get it. Okay? When you feel you're worth it, I can tell you this right now. I've had managers that have delivered incredible numbers for us, incredible results, and they're smart enough to come and say, I want to sit down with you and Frank. I want to talk about my salary. Me and Frank pull up the paperwork. We're like, I can't lose this guy. This guy just made us $40,000 last month. He walks in, he's like, I want another $5,000 a year. We're like, you got it. Okay. Okay. Take your $5,000. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. People that are valued, and they say, man, I'm delivering something. You got no problem getting more money. Now, he could say, well, they can't afford to pay me anymore because they're paying this guy. No, they justify it. They say, this is what I'm worth. So there's always abundance out there. It's dependent on you being ready for it. There's a couple of principles here. One, the one philosophy I use in Rhino Living is called give, love, serve. And I fully, 100% believe that you can be a successful business person while still giving back. And that every time you give back, you just become a more successful business person. Okay? So every year we expand how much we give to charities. We come up with more charity events. Every single year we add on more giving back. Okay? Why do we do that? Because every year we're getting better and better. So we try to increase. I believe that the more that you give, the more that you love, and the more that you serve, the more of all those things you'll get back. So the more you actually give, then the more the community buys into who you are, likes what you're doing, invests in you, the more money comes back. Okay? Because you're giving it back out. All right? So give more than you receive, go the extra mile, constantly have more than you need. What you want to think about with abundance is there's plenty out there. Okay? When you think about what you're doing, don't think about it in scarcity, like, you know what, I'm going to do this, which means I have to grab from this and from this. How about going over to here to all the new possibilities and thinking of the new possibilities? Okay? That's where it's really at. Right? We've gone into towns and opened up right next to authentic Irish pubs. Why? Because we knew there was enough to go around and we knew we were different. If I was going to open up somewhere where there's another exact Kildare's, I wouldn't do it. Because I'd say, okay, that serves the town's needs. Okay? We're about to open our third restaurant in Westchester. Okay? When I had Kildare's and then I opened Doc's, half my Kildare staff thought I was nuts. You're going to take business from us, you're going to do this, that, and the other. It was like, you guys are crazy. Okay? The year I opened up Doc's, Kildare's did $3.1 million, Doc's did $2.8 million in sales. The year prior, Kildare's had done $2.9. So the year I opened up my oyster house, Kildare's did $200,000 more in sales. Why? Our consumers became more loyal to our brand. We were a bigger and better restaurant company. Okay? Our consumers said, hey, we like his oyster house, let's go to Kildare's this week instead of going somewhere else. So it actually grew sales. I can share this with you guys because we just signed the paperwork Sunday night. We just bought Coyote Crossing in Westchester. Anybody familiar with Coyote Crossing? Okay? It's a great spot. It's going to be a great spot. Okay? Another deal where we got a restaurant for very little money, bank dealing, foreclosures, all kinds of stuff all over the place. But now we're going to have 3 restaurants within 3 blocks. It's because I believe in this. Okay? Coyote Crossing is going to be a very cool Mexicali cantina. I call it Quentin Tarantino meets Mexican. It's going to be like crazy. It's going to be in LA. It's going to be really cool. Okay? Really great food, really fun atmosphere. And I believe that there's plenty of money to spend on that. And that the money being spent on that doesn't take money away from a pint of Guinness or a fillet of fish. Okay? Does that make sense? So if you think in terms of abundance, there's plenty. The other thing you have to do, you have to remove all your negative self-image stuff about money. The worst thing that happens is when you grow up poor and your parents teach you bad things about money, and your uncles do, and your aunts do, and people with money are evil, and people that had money got it by exploiting people, and money's bad, and blah, 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 okay? And then you buy it because you love your parents, you love your family, you love them, and if your family's not wealthy, then the rich people must be mean. Because my mom's so nice, or my dad's so nice, okay? I'll give you guys a great story about abundance and how it works and how it really does work in business. When I was a chiropractor, I was about 6 months into practice. About 6 months into practice, after paying all my bills for the month, okay, I realized I grew up in basement apartments, okay? My mom never made more than $30,000 a year, okay, when she was alive, okay? And she raised 3 kids on that. And I'm not old, by the way, so that's not like, 1950s money, okay? All right? So, so when you look at that, 6 months into practice, my take home after paying all my bills, all my salary, all my rent, and even my car payments that were paid through my office and all these other expenses was $28,000 in 1 month. You think I felt good about that? I did for about a minute, and then my Irish Catholic guilt set in, and I said, wow, this is wrong. My mom has worked hard her whole life. She can't even make that in a year. There's something wrong with this, okay? I felt guilty, okay? Did I go out and buy like a new car? No, I put the money in the safe and felt weird, okay? And then what happened for the next several months? Did my income go up? My patient volume continued to skyrocket. I kept seeing more and more patients. Our billables went up. Our billables were almost double. What happened to my income? It actually dropped. As if I wasn't worth it. And then I realized, wait a minute, most chiropractors work 30 hours a week. I'm working 60. Anybody that comes to my office can get care. If you don't have insurance, I don't care. Get on the table, I'll adjust you. Put $5 in the drawer. All right, we're good, okay? I didn't deny anybody for money, okay? I worked double the hours of most chiropractors, and I was passionate about it, and I gave away care to wrestling teams, to football teams, to police departments, to fire departments. I gave away so many adjustments because I thought it was really good for the community. So then all of a sudden I said, wait a minute, I do deserve this. And guess what? The month I said that, I brought in $35,000. The next month, $40,000. The next month. Then it was weird to have a month where I didn't make $50,000 in profit. What's going on? What are we doing? Okay? And actually the principle I would use is, if we started collecting less, I'd say we got to give more. Who needs free care? Let's go to a homeless shelter this week and adjust people. Okay? We would do whatever we do to try to keep that sort of going. Just sort of keep that cycle going. So it really does work, the more that you give. But realize that I mentally block success from me. And we all do that. What if I succeed? What would happen? Okay? It is totally different to be the guy, the underdog who's working hard, than to be a guy who's up at top and people are like, oh, what's he doing? What's going on now? What are they saying about him? What's going to happen? When's it going to fall? When's it going to crumble? Okay? You have to be ready for all that stuff, and you have to think in abundance. Does that make sense to everybody? So you have to get right with your own visions of money. Napoleon Hill, there he goes. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. What Napoleon Hill really found, in all of his writings, what Napoleon Hill really found, there's another book too called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Clement Stone. Clement Stone ended up working with Napoleon Hill at the end of Napoleon Hill's career. Clement Stone started a insurance company called Combined, and he started that with a minimal investment, and it became a several $100 million company. This is years ago, in the 50s and 60s. It became very, very wealthy. And his, again, was about a positive attitude. But Napoleon Hill, what he really focused on was that everything that you believe you will achieve, you can. And everything you don't, you won't. Okay? So he basically found out that successful people are successful because they believe they can. And if they have a goal and they absolutely believe in that goal, they will achieve it, no matter what. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. When Napoleon Hill found out if somebody has a goal written down that says in 5 years, I will have $5 million in the bank, I will have this car, I will have this house, I will have this family time with my family, I will have the perfect wife, I will have a dream house in the islands, whatever it is. The people that wrote these goals down achieved them so much more. If they believed them. If they didn't believe the goals, they didn't. And then what he found is all these successful people, all these crazy entrepreneurs. I mean, he got to interview from Edison to Ford to Woodrow Wilson. Imagine the diversity of that group. Okay? So you sit down and talk with Edison, and Edison said, I had to figure out the right way to do it if I kept doing it wrong. What a great way to figure that out. How much nicer would that be? I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and I'm going to figure out a way to make an incredible company, and if I do it wrong enough, I'm going to make the best company ever. It's a better way to look at it, right? Mom, can you go back to the...
I have to actually get up here.
Everybody, this is Molly, by the way, my partner.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure.
I want to real quick get into goal setting with you guys, and I just want you to see what's important here about your beliefs about it. Right there, Molly, if you don't mind going back one. Okay.
This one?
There you go. Yeah, okay. This is really important. Everybody in this room wants to be a success, right? And whatever your success is, what's important about being a rhino, okay? In our philosophy, what's important about being a rhino is that success is what's important to you. If financial success is important, great. If saving the world is important, awesome. Okay? If raising the best family possible is awesome, Awesome. Okay, valid goals for you are what matters. And you don't have to justify them to anybody. Absolutely nobody. Okay? How many people thought I was crazy stopping chiropractic? You know, making an easy $500,000 a year versus spending that every year to keep restaurants open? Okay? Everybody thought I was a nut to do that. Here's what happens. You see that box at the top with the U in it? And then you see the box on the outside? The box on the outside represents the real world. The economy, what's going on, how old you are, what opportunities are out there, all these basic real world things, okay? You know, if you live in Arizona, all right, and your dream is to be an igloo salesman, it's just not going to work. I don't care how great your self-image is, you're just not going to be successful in that business, okay? So that's the real world limits. But here's the problem. What do? We grow up in a world where we're told what we can do, what we can eat, what we can think. Our parents tell us this, our teachers tell us this, our aunts and uncles tell us this, our friends tell us this, that, and the other, right? How many people have moved here from a different town to go to school, okay? A little different than the town you grew up in, okay? I'll tell you what, moving to Atlanta from Brookhaven was a lot different, okay? And I realized different values and different ideas, and wow, people think this way here, okay? So all these things in your life take you from out here in. And they put you in this little box. And that box now represents what you'll do and what you believe you'll do. Now the next one represents you with no limits. This is a successful entrepreneur. This is a successful CEO. This is a professional athlete, an actor. These are the people that just achieve amazing things. Okay? This is the Olympic athlete that wins gold medals. Okay? Why? Because they believe they can. You go back one, Molly? If the Olympic athlete's going to go back into the race with the negative self-image, okay?
Just kidding.
You got it. If the Olympic athlete goes into a race with the small box, believing they're not as good as the person next to them, believing that the person next to them is always the fastest, believing that the person next to them is going to break the world record, they can never catch them, are they going to win? They're not going to win. Okay? So if you go into anything in life with this self-image, I would like to make $1 million, but I just can't because my mom didn't, or my dad didn't, or because of where I'm from, or because I didn't get the same grades he got. I have to tell you, the best chiropractors, actually, if you ever want to see a chiropractor, ask them what they got in school, because the best ones are always the C students. Because they were too busy adjusting people rather than going to classes they were never going to use again. So they become the best adjusters. That's a secret, okay, in chiropractic. I wouldn't say about a heart transplant, okay, but I would say about chiropractic. But your issue is this. If you have big visions and you box yourself in and you say you can't do it, you won't. If you have big visions and you do the next thing, if it's a quick slide change, that's you, and you can do whatever you want. And that's what Napoleon Hill discovered. He said, if your mind can conceive it and it can actually believe it, then you'll actually do it all the time. Okay? And that's really what success is. So what I want you guys to understand, think about a big giant elephant. You ever seen an elephant at a circus, at a zoo, or whatever? They can tie an elephant down with a rope. Right? You ever seen that? They'll take a rope around an elephant's back leg, they'll put it in a stake in the ground. Do you think the elephant could break that? The stake's in the ground like a foot, okay? Do you think if the elephant wanted to get away, it could get away? 100%. How do they train the elephant? The elephant starts out as a baby elephant like this. Hey man, the world's great. I'm like 1,000 pounds. I can do what I want. I'm going to run around. Life is awesome. I'm going to live my dreams. Things are great. And then what do? They tie a really heavy chain to this baby elephant. They tie it to a big, giant metal stake, 100 feet in the ground that won't move. And what does that baby elephant try to do? He's like, man, I'm a baby elephant. I got all this opportunity. I can do whatever I want. It's trying to get out, It can't get out. Can't get out. What does he eventually learn? No matter how hard I try, I can't break this chain. So now when the elephant is full grown and several tons, you can tie a string around its ankle. Take that string, put it to something. The elephant looks back and goes, okay, I'm stuck. I can't do it. The elephant is that. When you have a goal that you want and you're not achieving it, you want to wonder if you're boxing yourself into this. Because that's the worst way that an entrepreneur fails. They fail because they go to take their first step and they look back and they're like, oh wait, I got this rope here of all the reasons why I can't succeed. If you lose that rope, guess what you do? All your potential's there. You can do everything. Can you hit the goal setting page real quick, Molly? We got like 2 minutes, 1 minute, 0 minutes. What's our timing like?
5 minutes.
Are we okay? Everybody okay? Nobody's falling asleep? All right. Let me help you guys with goal setting real quick. It's in the book. I highly recommend it. Okay? We have achieved all our goals quicker than we ever thought because of following the system. 1, getting our attitude right. 2, following the laws of the jungle. 3, making sure our self-image is on board. here's what you want to remember. Every goal you set, have a little mental talk with yourself and say, okay, do I believe in this goal? Anybody have a goal right now to lose weight? Okay. You like football? Okay. Here's what happens. You say, I want to lose weight. And your mind says, dude, we've known you your whole life. It's football season. You're going to go out and drink beers. You're going to eat wings. You're going to eat pizza. You know what? Sunday, you're not getting off the couch because there's 3 games you want to see. Not going to happen. Oh, and guess what? Time change just happened. You're not getting up when it's dark out and running in the morning. So we know this about you. So guess what? Not important. We threw it out. That's goal setting. Okay? Now, let's say spring's here. And you love going out in the morning in spring and running. Okay? You like eating salads in the spring. All of a sudden, spring comes, and you say to yourself, I want to lose 10 pounds. You know what your brain says? You know what, dude? You've done this before. It's spring. You're going to go out running. There's no football season now, so you know what? You're pretty happy. You're not going to be sitting there every Sunday watching, you know. You're going to go to the beach soon. You want to look at the beach, so we know you, okay? Guess what? Yeah, this is going to happen. We're programming this. We're going to make this happen. That's how all success happens. If you don't believe it, it won't happen, okay? So we actually had a Rhino talk today out at Exton Chamber of Commerce, and a woman shared that story. She's like, I decided I was going to lose weight. I had that little talk with myself. And we convinced each other, I'm like, well, it's one brain, but we convinced each other that I'm going to lose this weight. And she's like, now I'm getting up earlier automatically. She goes, not even before my alarm. Now, when I buy food, I'm buying better food at the grocery store. I'm like, yeah, it's automatic, isn't it? And that's how success is if you're properly programmed. So real quick, when you want to set goals, here's how you achieve them quicker and faster. Does everybody here want to achieve success really fast? Okay? You want to be worth like $10 million in 2 years, or you want to be worth $10 million in 40 years? Okay? So if you want to achieve success faster and faster, look at this. 1, clear the mental clutter. All the garbage in your life, get rid of it. Okay? Think of, when you're thinking about goals and dreams and what you're passionate about, remove the stuff that doesn't matter. Okay? Remove all the garbage. Alright? Who won on Dancing with the Stars? Doesn't matter. Okay? Alright? What time your favorite TV show was on? Doesn't matter at all. Okay? Step number 2, get your self-image on board. Don't be the elephant tied back. All the junk you believe about yourself, go take your mom out to coffee and say, Mom, you told me I was really bad at math, and ever since that in the 5th grade, I sucked at math, and I'm not bad at math, Mom. Okay? Be gentle on her, they didn't know. But realize that when you guys have kids, if you don't have kids in the room, you're going to mess them up too. Okay? It just happens. But the issue is, the things you believe about yourself are probably false. Probably 90% of the garbage you believe about yourself is wrong. Somebody else told it to you. And what was their motivation? Okay? Or what were they trying to do? Or maybe it was even just a joke, but it came from somebody that is important to you, so you believed it. Okay? Step number 3, write down your goals. In this room, how many people have their goals written down? Be honest. Come on, raise your hands. Alright, so we got about 10% of the room. Okay? Most important thing. Again, who here wants to be rich one day? About everybody goes up, okay? And then how many people have written that down? Okay? It's like buying a lotto ticket. It's actually about, it's like dreaming about winning the lottery. How many people have dreamed about winning Powerball when it's $150 million? We all have, right? How many people have spent maybe 15 or 20 minutes daydreaming when you're in class about winning the Powerball? You picture the car you buy, the things you pay off, the stuff you would do. And then how many people don't even buy the ticket? Okay? Most people don't buy the ticket. When you say, I'd like to be rich one day, or I'd like to have this job, or I'd like to go to Africa, or I would like to create this company, or whatever it happens to be, but you don't write it down, it's the same as daydreaming about the lottery and not buying the ticket. You got to write it down. It's essential. When you write it down, guess what your subconscious mind starts to do? It starts to say, yeah, this is who you are. If you wrote down every day, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to lose 10, eventually you'd win that battle with your subconscious mind and say, okay, you know what? We're not letting you watch football this Sunday. We're going to make you feel like running right in the middle of a football game. And you're going to get your butt up and run. You're not going to know why. We're going to program it in you, but you're going to get off the couch and run. Okay? So when you start writing your goals down, it becomes who you are. Remember how we said who you are? What you believe is what you'll become? Okay? The next thing, read your goals twice a day with energy and enthusiasm. Now why would you do this? Success is on autopilot. Okay? People that are successful, like I said, Donald Trump, how many times has that guy gone bankrupt? And guess what? In the middle of the bankruptcy, he's building 5 towers somewhere. Okay? Some new Trump towers somewhere. Why? He knows it's part of the game for him. He absolutely knows it. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I want to do. He has such a huge belief about what he can achieve or not achieve. Okay? So the issue is, you read your goals twice daily with energy and enthusiasm, so that's who you become. Okay? Doesn't Donald Trump think he's like the greatest thing in the world? I mean, it's so annoying to even watch him, right? But doesn't he believe it? He's bought in. There's no telling him he's not. He is 100% bought into that, okay? You need to buy in. When you read your goals twice daily with energy and enthusiasm, it just becomes who you are. It's just who you are, all right? Really important. Who has a dream car? Tell me your dream car.
Rolls-Royce fan.
Okay, Rolls-Royce fan. Tell me your dream car.
67 Corvette.
Great, okay. So he's got a 67 Corvette, you got a Rolls-Royce. You guys are going to drive down to Borgata. I'm going to give you guys $1,000 to get down to Borgata tonight, have fun, get a room, party up, okay? You get to the Borgata. When you get there, okay, he's like, dude, did you see all the Rolls-Royce stuff we passed? There was all these Rolls-Royce, and I saw one from FC Kirkbeck, and I saw this, and I saw that. You're like, dude, I didn't see one, but I saw 4 Corvettes that were awesome. Why? In his brain, Rolls-Royces are programmed as important, as something to look for. In your brain, Corvettes are. Mine's the 4-door Maserati, okay, in March this year, all right? Okay? So, the thing is that you set your goals and you set your dreams the same way. Does he have to think about seeing Rolls-Royces? We all have dream cars, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a Prius, okay? If you're into getting a Prius, you see the Prius everywhere. It's like everybody has a Prius, okay? Everybody in him, he sees so many Rolls-Royces, you don't even notice them, okay? Same about success and opportunities. If he programs his mind, I'm going to be worth $2 million. I'm going to own my own company. I'm going to start my own software company. I'm going to start my own clothing company. Whatever it is, you're programmed for it. You see the opportunities. Okay? When you're programmed for it, he can see a Rolls Royce pulling out 2 blocks away. When you're programmed for success, when you've written your goals down, you see opportunities miles away. Okay? And opportunities find you. I'm standing in Scranton in this closed pub that I just bought for $125,000. While I'm in the pub, the CEO of the company, whose pub I'm standing in, who I just bought for $125,000 from the bank, called me and asked me if I wanted to buy one of his other pubs before the bank took it. Okay? These are the opportunities that pop up when you do this. Does that make sense? It's just programmed in, and you say, I'm taking that opportunity. Okay? So, read them down and read them with energy and enthusiasm. Energy and enthusiasm seems a little crazy, right? It's really important. You know why? It converts it from just a thought to energy and passion, to emotion. When you're in a horror movie, what happens to your body chemistry? What happens to your heart rate? What happens to your blood pressure? It all goes up. Do you honestly believe the guy's going to jump out of the screen and kill you? No, but guess what? Your subconscious mind does. Your subconscious mind has pulled all the blood away from your organs. You're not digesting the popcorn you're eating. All that blood's actually in your skeletal muscles, just in case the guy jumps out and you have to run. Okay? Your subconscious mind is bought in because that horror movie has energy and emotion. Okay? You create your dreams with energy and emotions, they become who you are. Your subconscious mind's always doing them. So, the real big rhinos in the room are going to go home. They're going to write their goals on a 3x5 card that they keep with them. They're going to write their goals on a 3x5 card they put on their nightstand. They're going to write their goals on their mirror in the bathroom. And then your girlfriend, your spouse, or whatever is going to say you're a nut. Okay? And just tell her you're not going to share the big prize with her then. Okay? The issue is, imagine brushing your teeth in the morning and you see your goal that says, I'm going to start my own company in 2011. Okay? I'm going to graduate with a 4.0. Whatever it happens to be, whatever your goals are. What if you see that every morning while you're brushing your teeth? What does your subconscious mind do? Just constantly absorbs it. Okay? If you read success books all the time, what are you probably going to become? A success. Okay? If you read books about being negative and a loser, what are you going to become? Okay? I don't know if they sell those books. Step number 5, persist and adapt. So when you're setting all these goals, guys, here's what I want you to realize, guys and girls, I apologize. When we're setting all these goals, what's really important, you're going to hit roadblocks. You're going to hit failures. Stop looking at failure as bad, start seeing it as good. Failure is how we learn. Okay? When all the executives got fired from Washington Mutual, what did they do? They started another company to buy all the bad loans off of Wall Street. How funny was that? They created the bad loans and they started another company to go buy them. I don't think they stalled and said, I'm a failure. They said, how can we make money on this stuff? Okay? So what you want to realize is you persist and you adapt towards your goals. So as you go on the path to success, you will encounter failure. It's great. Learn from it. There's a great book out called Peaks and Valleys. Very, very simple reading, and it's just, one of these parable type books where it just explains the concept. But the issue is, when you're up at the top, you basically learn nothing because you think you're awesome. Okay? You got it all figured out. When you're at the bottom, that's when you learn everything. And you start to go back up to the next peak. So success is up here for you. You're going to go to it this way. You're not going to go straight up. Welcome those valleys. Welcome those failures because they're going to teach you. Okay? I'm going to tell you, every Kildare just had 5 managers. When the economy went to hell, we had to learn how to do great with 3 managers and a key to save all that money on benefits, on healthcare, on another salary. We had to learn how to run a great operation with 3 people instead of 5. Had the economy never tanked, we'd be this fat bloated company with 80 managers right now instead of 50. Okay? We're going to have 1,000 employees by the new year. Okay? Imagine if we could decrease that by 10% to be more efficient and function better. How much more profit coming in the company? Okay? So you learn this in your values. So, and adapt. Here's what's important about adapting to goals. You will achieve your goals much faster if it's about passion. If you're not passionate about it, it's probably not the right goal. Because one of the things about being an entrepreneur, half the way you get there is passion. Okay? You need to gain knowledge, you need to gain other people's knowledge, you need to gain experience, okay? And don't ever think you have to know it all, because you don't. You know what I hate? P&Ls. Today we had our management meeting. Here I run a company to see it. You know what I can't stand sitting through? The hour and a half, 2 hours we spend going through every manager's profit and loss statement. I'm like, I saw these things before. I saw this. My COO loves it, man. He's like, well, look, you're 2% over in this column. How many napkins did you order this month? So I'm like, God, we're talking about napkins. I don't want to talk about napkins. Okay? But he loves it. So he's my counterpart. He can run that. He can make that happen. So when you're an entrepreneur, build a great team around you of the people that have passions for the things you don't like. My controller, man, he's like a nut. He's like, this was done here and this deposit was done. I'm like, okay, tell me your impression of this and let's solve the situation. Because he loves looking at numbers all day. And I don't. So I built a strong team there. Okay? Does that make sense for everybody? But again, persist and adapt and follow your passions. Can you go back to the attitude? In closing out today, guys, I'm going to be here for questions, and I'd love to share anything with you. And I'd be happy to tell you guys about successes and failures, because I've had a ton, and that's how you learn. I am going to hand this out to you guys, if you don't mind passing this back. This is the sign-up for the Rhino Living email. Every Tuesday, we put out a free Rhino Living email, and it's basically about this philosophy. It's great to keep you charging. You got to remember that you're in a world full of cows and people that think the world stinks and this happens to them. The world doesn't happen to them. Okay, you happen to the world. All right. So in closing, what I want you guys to remember is this attitude quote. Every single day, remember this quote. It's in your book. Basically, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude to life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than the past, than education. Anybody have a bad childhood? Yeah, we all had stuff happen in our childhood, right? Put it away, move forward, okay? The more time you spend back there, the less time you spend creating your future, okay? You cannot create your future if you're constantly looking in your past. Excuse me, then education, then money. Look at that, education. You guys probably have more education in business than I do, and I get to speak to you, okay? Then money, then circumstances, and failure. Again, I came from no money, okay? I've dealt with a lot of bad circumstances. I've had a lot of failures, okay? That what other people think, say, or do is more important than appearance and giftedness or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, or a home. I got to tell you, the people you surround yourself with absolutely can determine how far or how low you go in life. It's very important to choose the people you want to be around and make sure that you resonate well with them. Okay? The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change the past. We cannot change the fact that people act a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And guess what, guys? You get to choose that every single day. When you wake up, you choose to have a good day or a bad day. Nobody chooses it for you. So tomorrow when you wake up, rub your hands together and say, I'm ready. I got it. Go brush your teeth, look at your goals, pull out your card, and then when you walk on campus, you're like on fire. You're like, who is this guy? Who is this girl? They're awesome. Okay? And then somebody's here looking to hire somebody or say, I need to partner with somebody in a business, and all of a sudden they're making $10 million a year. Okay? It takes a little longer, but it happens that way.